Hi, Llamaste fam. Thank you so much for joining me again. Today we are going to work on a lovely hip opener flow. So let's start at the back of the mat. I have a bolster here with me and 2 blocks today. You can also maybe take a blanket rolled up or a small pillow. We're gonna start by lying down. Our spine is gonna be on top of the bolster. And we're gonna come into butterfly pose with the legs. So I'm sitting back, my sacrum is to the back of the bolster. My feet are gonna come in to press together, soles of the feet touching. I'm going to place these blocks under my knees for some support here, and then lie back into a nice, comfortable, restorative butterfly, just letting the arms fall out to the sides, letting the shoulders ease back, and gently closing the eyes, taking a moment to gather myself and really relax, coming into this restful, restorative asana. Take a moment for you. Maybe set an intention for your class today. We'll take a collective round of breath here. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Beginning our Ujjayi breath here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One last time all together, inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Keep going with that Ujjayi breath, but maybe slowing down the exhales, lengthening the inhales. Really just slowing the heart, committing to stillness and to rest as much as we commit to movement in this moment. And take one more breath in stillness. And whenever you're ready, you can start to move the blocks from underneath the knees. Maybe opening up the hips a little wider. Start to rock the hips from side to side. Feeling what that feels like. And when you're ready, you can gently remove the bolster, or maybe if you have a rolled up blanket or a pillow, lengthening the spine completely down onto the mat. With that next breath in, we're going to lengthen out through the legs, lengthen the arms up overhead, stretching through the toes. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest, bringing the forehead to the knees, rolling up into a little ball. Exhale, pressing the spine back down, shoulders back, and just take some small rotations through the knees, maybe grabbing onto the back of the thighs. One more breath to the same side. And we'll exhale, switch the motion to the opposite side, wherever you're at. One more breath here. And exhale, we're going to place the soles of the feet onto the mat. Begin to straighten that right leg up towards the sky, and we're going to take a figure 4 position with that right leg over the left thigh. Making sure to keep flexing through the right foot, and we're going to start to push that right knee out and down towards the floor. So we get a nice hip opening action here happening through the right side. If that feels good, you can start to straighten that left leg up towards the sky, maybe grabbing the back of the left thigh to deepen the stretch. Make sure to press shoulders back down to the mat to lengthen through the spine. And we'll just keep bringing in that left knee closer in towards the chest, keeping the flexion through both feet to protect the knees, and keep pressing that right knee down towards the ground. Taking one more full breath in through the nose. Exhale, gently bringing the left foot back down. We're going to cross this right leg completely over the left and just scooch the hips out towards the right side, letting the knees fall to the left. We can T or cactus the arms down by the sides and maybe begin to gaze over that right shoulder here for a nice full body twist. If this is too much for you, you can uncross the legs and just let both knees fall down evenly towards this left side. Maybe if you're a little tighter, if you're feeling not as flexible today, or if you just need to be a little gentler with yourself. Taking one more breath in. Exhale, rolling the knees back to center, maybe scooching the hips back to center, uncross the legs. And we're going to straighten this left leg down, bringing the right knee in towards the chest, maybe taking some rotations through that ankle here, because we're not done with this hip opener on this side. On the next breath, we're going to widen that right hip out to the side and maybe grab for the ankle, the shin, or the pinky toe side of that right foot, coming into our half happy baby. Keeping with this hip opening theme with our yoga today. Really lengthening that left leg down to the mat and keep pressing that left hip down as you open up through the right. Take one more full breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bring that right foot in towards the center. Switch the grip of the palms. So we're going to grab this right foot with the left on the outside of the ball of the foot. And then we're going to rotate that right leg down towards the left side, trying to keep that left leg down onto the mat nice and straight as we reach the right foot down, maybe pressing this right palm back behind you and gazing over the right shoulder. You can also pull back a little, maybe keep a bend in that right knee if this is getting too intense for the hamstring. This is a nice IT band stretch as well. Taking one more full inhale. Exhale, bringing the right knee back in through center, straightening the hips. And we'll lower that right leg down, maybe shake it out for a moment. On that next breath, we're going to bring the soles of the feet back to center. And inhale that left leg up towards the sky, flexing through the foot. We'll take a figure 4 position here on the left side. Again, really pressing that left knee down towards the floor to open up through the hip, but keep pressing that right hip down onto the mat. If you feel good here, you can start to lift this right leg up towards the sky. Again, flexing through both feet, maybe grabbing the back of the thigh and pressing the spine and the shoulders back onto the mat once you've grabbed the leg. Keep that push and pull motion, that contraction to really open up through that left hip flexor. Keep a nice steady breath. Taking one more inhale, bringing that right knee in closer towards the chest. And exhale, lowering the left leg down. Let's cross the right over. Lowering that right leg down, crossing the left over the right. We're gonna press the hips a little bit towards the left side of the mat and just let the knees fall to the right. Teeing the arms out, maybe gazing over this left shoulder. And take a full breath in through the nose. You can take any variation you need to of this posture. So if you need to uncross the legs, if you would like to do an eagle wrap to go even deeper, that's an option as well. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing the knees back to center, straightening back the hips. We can uncross the legs here. And we're going to straighten this right leg out and bringing the left knee in towards the chest. Let's take some circular motions here through the ankles. One more breath, maybe switching sides. And whenever you're ready, we're going to widen that left knee out, grabbing the foot or maybe the ankle or the shin for our half happy baby on this left side. We're going to keep pressing that right hip down towards the earth, opening up through that left, flexing through the foot. We'll take one more full inhale. As you exhale, bringing that leg into center, bringing the foot into center and switching the grip of the palms. And just lengthening out that left leg down towards the right side, bringing this left arm back and gazing over the left shoulder for a nice twist here. Trying to get the foot to the height of the hips. Taking one more full breath in. And as you exhale, coming right back in through center. Straightening the legs, reaching the fingertips up overhead as you exhale. Bring the knees in towards the chest. We're going to grab for the outsides of the feet and coming into our full happy baby pose. So we did the half happy baby pose on each side. Now we can really open up through the hips since we're nice and warmed up, bringing the knees towards the outsides of the hips and really pressing the palms into the feet, kicking the feet up into the hands. Taking one more full breath in. Exhale, bringing the knees back in towards the chest, grabbing for the back of the thighs. Let's rock and roll up and back. Getting a nice massage here for the spine until we come all the way up to a seat. And we're going to flip onto our hands and knees, setting up for a tabletop position. Let's begin a few rounds of cat-cow, tucking the toes to start. As you inhale, drop the belly, lifting through the sternum, pressing shoulders back, reaching through the crown of the head. Exhale, rounding through the whole spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest, lifting the navel. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, round down. 2 more breaths. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale up. Exhale. Final breath here. Inhale. And exhale. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, send the hips high, coming into a downward facing dog. Let's just come right into stillness here. Seeing if you can really straighten the spine up towards the sky. You need to just not worry about how far the heels reach the ground. Just worry more about lifting the hips up towards the sky. If you need to take a soft bend in the knees to do that, you can do that right now. Maybe you walk the palms a little bit wider or closer in together. Just remember, everyone's height, body structure is different. So everyone's downward dog is going to look different as well. So take one more moment to get into that right posture for you. We'll take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. On the next breath in, let's lift this right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, we'll bend that right knee, open up through the hip. And now that we're nice and stretched out through the hips, you can choose to stay, or maybe you flip your dog, bringing that right sole of the foot down to meet parallel to the left, reaching this right palm up overhead, pressing the hips up towards the sky. Take one more full inhale. Exhale, reaching that right palm back to the mat, stretching that right leg up back to our three-legged dog. As you exhale, we're going to bring the knee in towards the chest, step it through and come down into a low lunge here. We're going to lower that left knee down, untuck the toes, and as you inhale, reaching the heart up, reaching palms, pressing them up overhead, coming into our Anjaneyasana. Reach up, reach back. Exhale, pressing the palms forward down to frame that right foot. We're going to press the hips back just so that that left hip can be right over the left knee. And we're going to flex that right foot forward to come onto the heel of the right foot, sliding it forward. Coming into our half Hanuman pose, pressing palms down to frame the foot, reaching the chest, the crown of the head forward, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, we're going to slide that right foot back to center, bringing the sole of the foot down. We're going to bring this right palm into the inside of the right foot and heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of the mat, coming into our lizard pose. You can choose to stay pressing up onto the palms, or maybe you lower down to the forearms. Still reaching through the crown of the head here, lengthening through the spine, pressing that right hip down towards the earth. We'll take one more full inhale. Exhale, propping yourself back up to the palms. We're going to bring this left knee in and sit back onto the sit bones here to come into a twist. We're going to reach this left sole of the foot around the left thigh. We're going to reach this right sole of the foot around the left thigh, really grounding into both sitting bones here, reaching up through the fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to rotate back towards the right side, pressing this right palm down behind the sacrum and gazing over that right shoulder. Exhale, twisting through center. Let's take a nice counter twist here to the left. And exhale, back through center. We're going to keep this posture with the legs here to come into another hip opener, reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. As you exhale, pressing the palms forward, letting the head hang heavy. So this is a hip opener and also a nice stretch for your glutes here. Taking a full inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more breath in. As you exhale, slowly rolling back through center. We're going to take full Gomukhasana. So reaching this right palm up and behind. We're going to reach for the middle of the back right here. Maybe reaching this left palm on top of the right elbow and bringing the fingertips of that right hand down a little bit further down the back of the spine. You can choose to stay, or maybe you come into the full bind, reaching this left arm under and up to reach for opposite fingertips here. You can also take a strap if you have one at home and pulling on the strap to try and get the fingertips closer to touch. Taking one more full inhale. Exhale, release the grip. We're gonna bring the palms, press them into the top of the mat, and we're gonna step back to uncross the legs, coming into our upper push-up plank, and move through our flow. Exhale, pressing back to our downward facing dog. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. On the next inhale, let's pick up this left leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend the knee, open up that hip. You can choose to stay, maybe find some movement, or you can come into your flipped dog, reaching this left sole of the foot down to parallel to the right. Reaching the left palm up overhead, bumping the hips towards the sky. And as you exhale, we'll press that left palm back down into the mat, coming into our three-legged dog. Deep inhale. Exhale, bringing the knee in towards the chest. Step it through. We're going to come into our low lunge on this left side, bringing that right knee down to the mat. And as you inhale, reaching the palms up overhead, coming into Anjaneyasana, look up, reach back. Exhale, pressing the palms forward, back to frame that left foot. We're gonna start to push the hips back. Again, just making sure that that right hip is right over the right knee. We're gonna flex the left foot, coming onto the heel, maybe inching it forward. Keep lengthening through the spine. Try to avoid this roundedness in the spine. Try to keep pressing the belly and the heart forward. Taking one more full inhale. Exhale, rebending that left knee. Coming right back in to our low lunge, but this time we're gonna press this left palm into the inside of the left foot, heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of the mat to come into our lizard pose. You can stay up onto the palms, maybe lower down to the forearms. Just try and keep that spine nice and straight, reaching through the crown of the head. We'll take one more breath to stay. On your next inhale, pressing back up to the palms, we're gonna bring this right knee in back underneath you to sit back onto the sit bones. And we're gonna reach this left leg over the right to come into a twist. As you inhale, reaching the fingertips up overhead. Exhale, twisting to the left this time first. Pressing this left palm behind you, using it as an anchor to keep twisting through the torso, not through the hips. Gazing over this left shoulder. Exhale, coming right back through center. Twisting to the right. Exhale, center. We're gonna reach those fingertips up overhead. And as you exhale, let the palms fall down in front of you. Letting the head drop heavy, letting the shoulders and the elbows drop down. For this hip opening and glute stretch. Taking one more full breath in through the nose. Exhale, rising you right back up to center. We'll take Gomukhasana, reaching this left palm up overhead and back. Maybe using that right palm as a guide to guide the left fingers down, lower into the spine. You can choose to stay, or maybe you go for the half or the full bind, reaching for opposite fingertips here, maybe grabbing onto a strap or a rolled up towel, blanket. Taking a full breath in through the nose. Exhale, releasing the grip. We're going to press the palms into the top of the mat. Step back to uncross the legs and move through a flow. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Let's take a full breath in through the nose. And a full breath out. Final posture. We're going to reach this right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, bringing the knee in towards the chest, we're going to lower the shin down to the mat and really just press back onto the hips. We're going to make sure that the weight is even between both hips and that we're keeping this strong flexion through that right foot to protect the knee. From here, just gaze back to that left leg, making sure that the thigh is right behind the hip. You can use a bolster or maybe a block underneath the hips for some support here. Propping onto the fingertips right by the sides of the hips. Let's take a quick back bend, looking up, look back. As you exhale, let that guide you forward, walking the palms towards the top of the mat. If you need to take props underneath the forearms, maybe underneath the third eye or the shoulders, you can stay propped up onto the forearms, or maybe you lower the forehead down to the mat. Let's take 5 full cycles of your breath here. Nice, deep Buddha belly breathing in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Take one more breath for you. And whenever you're ready, slowly start to peel yourself back up, making your way in a down dog however you'd like to. Maybe you take a flow. Maybe you pedal out through the heels, rocking the hips, just stretching out after our half pigeon. And on the next breath, when you're ready, we'll pick up this left leg towards the sky. As you exhale, bringing the knee in towards the chest, dropping down gently. Maybe inching this right leg back to really come sitting low into the hips, flexing through this left foot here. So keeping a nice deep flexion. The closer the shin is to the parallel or towards the top of the mat, the more intense you're going to really deepen this stretch. So if you don't want it too intense, just keep bending that foot a little bit back in towards the hips. And if you want to intensify, keep pressing the shin forward. From here, coming up onto the fingertips, taking a quick back bend, reaching up, look back, and let that guide you forward. Coming down to whatever variation you need, and don't forget that just because you did something on one side doesn't mean that it's going to happen for you on the other side. Or maybe you're more flexible on this side and you can go deeper into this. It's up to your body, it's up to you. It's what you feel is capable and able at this very moment. And wherever you are at this moment is exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's take a full inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. We'll take 5 more cycles of breath here. Trying to just focus on the breath and rid the mind of any other thoughts or distractions. Whenever you're ready, taking your time, you can slowly peel yourself back up. Again, meeting in a down dog however you need to. So maybe it's moving through one final flow. Maybe it's moving through a cat-cow into your down dog. Just take this final breath, maybe rocking the hips, walking or pedaling through the feet. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down to the knees. Sit back onto the hips. And we're going to end class the same way we came in. So let's take this bolster underneath the spine if you need it. Take the blocks underneath the knees if you need it. Or if you feel like your hips are nice and open and you no longer need the props, just press the soles of the feet in together. Roll back onto the spine. Let the palms fall out to the sides. Maybe the fingers curl in. Maybe you tuck your chin in towards the chest. And settle into your final Shavasana. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth, letting it all go. Can stay here for as long as you need. Maybe pause the video and take your time to really ground down and meditate in this final Shavasana. If not, whenever you're ready, you can start to bring movement back into the body. Maybe straightening the legs, wiggling the fingers and the toes, reaching the palms up overhead. When you're ready, maybe rolling onto one side, using your arm as a pillow, bringing the knees in towards the chest. And with the eyes closed, gently rolling up to a comfortable seat. We'll press the palms in at heart center and end class with a breath and the sound of Om. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale for the sound. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.